What's happening, everybody? You're listening to the Man Please Show. I'm your host, Trog. Broadcasting live right here from the Man Please Cave, somewhere in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hey, I want to talk about this South Carolina shooting. This South Carolina officer, his name is Michael T. Slager. He's 33 years old. He's being charged with murder. You've all seen the video. If you have a TV or a computer or a smartphone or smartwatch now, you've seen the video. I tell you, that's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. Man. I'm seeing this police officer standing there. I'm looking at it right now. I've got it pulled up on my laptop here. And I see the police officer, and he's already fired probably 7 shots, getting ready to fire his 8th. He fired 8 shots. And he's standing there like he's standing at a firing range. Which I've been to a firing range, I know. And he looks so nonchalantly. He looks like he's trying to get a high score. He shot him 8 times. Pow, 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 pow. That was 8. And the man's unarmed, running away from him. I've seen some despicable things on the internet. I mean, there's any number of things that you can see on the internet. Anything. There really is, literally. And I've seen a lot of things that I wish I could unsee, but I can't. I can't unsee it. I'm reading a comment here. This is the press of Heart. Welcome to. Thank you, Bob. That's my good friend sent me a message. I tell you, it's hard to even to talk about. I mean, this, like I said, I've seen some terrible things, but this is unbelievable to me. This officer, I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't even put. I tried to put myself in this man's head. I can't get in there. I can't think of anything. But he's having a bad day. Of course, you assume. I think it's natural to assume he's racist. Maybe he's not racist. Maybe, dang, I've been working here 15 years. I ain't shot nobody yet. He touched my leg. I'm going to shoot him. Shot him 8 times in the back, running away unarmed until the man just collapsed. And then, then he goes over and checks his pulse. I don't know what he determines. I don't know if Mr. Scott, Walter Scott, is the man that was murdered. And I'm using the word murder because I've watched it. It's very plain to see. I can't imagine any evidence that would exonerate this officer from the charge of murder. If anything, I'd try to prove murder in the first degree. I believe I don't know. Handcuffs him. Shot him 8 times in the back. Still needs to handcuff him. The guy's laying face down. I mean, not with his head turned to the side. His face is down in the grass. And I can't imagine. Could you imagine if this was He was 50 years old. Could you imagine if this was your father? He's probably got grandkids. Your brother. Watching him take those, I don't even know what caliber gun this murderer used. Looks like he hit him all 8 times. Well, I tell you. Let's see here. I've been alive 3 years longer than Mr. Scott, Mr. Walter Scott, who was murdered. He was 50. I'm 53. I remember, of course, I'm sure my memory was different than Mr. Scott's memory because we led different lives. But my memory, when I was young, old cops, all right, move along. Of course, I have seen the way cops treated African Americans back in the 60s, 70s. And now I have to say the 2015s. That's what this reminded me of. This video of this South Carolina former police officer, now murderer. That's what this reminds me of. I watched a movie back sometime in February, Black History Month, and there's a channel that I like to watch. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a channel that shows a lot of African American programming. And they were showing this movie. It was a movie. It's a documentary movie. And I can't remember, but it was about the march. It was about Martin Luther King and his march to Selma or to the White House. Anyway, about them finally getting the right to vote. And the whole thing was in black and white. And it just chronicled that length of time. And, I've watched that. I watched that, and, man, it made me feel guilty to be a white person. And I really don't know how that makes anybody feel, but that's the honest truth. It made me feel guilty to be a white person when I saw the way these peacekeepers, these police officers, were treating these African American people, these black folks. And I saw the black folks, these African American people, I saw the dignity in their faces. when I was watching these videos. Because what they were doing in a peaceful manner. They were exercising dignity. And I was watching the cops, the white cops, the Caucasian cops. And I saw hatred. I saw rage, murderous rage in their faces. I don't know why I got off on that, but well, it's because that's what this video reminds me. It's the only difference is this one's in color. The others were in black and white. It hurts my heart. But, you know, I've said before, it always seems to take tragedy to create change, necessary change. And I know we've had quite a bit of tragedy recently. That's another reason I don't understand this cop. You know, I think every police station all over the country ought to put this cop's picture on their wall and say, this is it. Do you want to be this guy? Is this the cop you want to be? You know, after the cops, all right, move along, then it was, let's see, cops were like, you know, hey, why don't you let me get you some help? Now they're, you know, get on the ground, dirtbag. He touched my leg, shoot him. Just trying to make light of a bad situation, but there's really no room for that. Well, there's no doubt this cop is gonna be convicted, and I'm looking at his face now, and I can't imagine what this guy's life has before him, and I know that's to the family of Mr. Walter Scott. Nothing is going to bring him back. But this loser is going to suffer for the rest of his life, however long that may be. Because they can't even put him in the general population now. So, I mean, what are they going to... Is he going to have to... He's either going to be in total isolation, which I couldn't imagine that for the rest of his life, because he's going to be in jail the rest of his life. Or if they put him in general population, oh, my goodness, I hope he's right with God. That's all I got to say about that. I hope he's right with God. Well, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your ears. I'd love to hear from you sometime. Maybe now that I'm on iHeart,